front of your eyes. Get woke, stay woke, and realize. Wake up and internalize. Get woke, stay woke, and open your eyes. Wake up, it's in front of your eyes. Get woke, stay woke, and realize. Wake up and internalize. Get woke, stay woke, and open your eyes. Wake up, stay woke. Peace and blessings to the woke ones out there. Woke Reg here, coming at you with another video. Alright guys, so you see the title. It's kind of like going to be a story time type of video. I'm going to talk about how I woke up from the Matrix and also give you some information on how to get out of the Matrix. You know, physically and mentally and spiritually. Alright, so this is going to be a long video, guys, because I never really made a proper video introducing myself, letting you know who I am. You know what I'm about, but who I am, where I came from, and how I got to this point in my life as far as making videos about getting out of the Matrix and waking you guys up, and also making videos on law of attraction and all that. So it's going to be a long video, so please bear with me. Hope you watch the whole thing because it's going to be very informative. You're going to learn something. You're going to learn a lot about me, you know. So let's do this. Let's do this. But before we do this, what I need to do, if you're new to my channel, never ever heard of Woke Reg, or if you're coming from TikTok and you want to check me out on here and, you know, wake up even more, welcome. All I need you to do now is hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you won't miss any of my woke videos. Give me a like. It's going to help me, guys. I want this video to go viral. I want every man, woman, and child to know about the Matrix, and they need to get out. You know, they need to know they need to get out. So please make this video go viral. Drop a comment down below. I want to know you guys' thoughts on what I'm talking about today, and just your thoughts in general about the Matrix, and let me know what type of videos you want me to make. You know, what type of information, what type of topics you want to touch on, where I can go in depth and explain, you know, all this type of knowledge that I've gained throughout the years of me studying about the Matrix and law of attraction and all that. So please leave that comment down below. All right, guys, I got that out of the way. Let's get into this. Okay, so it all started once upon a time. I'm just playing. I gotta throw some jokes in there. I like to throw jokes, so I might throw some jokes here and there, guys. But I'm most of the time I'm gonna be serious, you know, because it's serious. This is a time where we need to really wake up and get out of this, because America and this world it's going down. It's going down. Now, I'm gonna try to refrain from using the V word, you know what that is, and the C word, because they like to flag videos, give you warnings if you use those words. But I'm not going to really talk about that. You know, not really. I might throw that in there at the end or something, because that's where we are. I can't even talk. That's where we are at this point right now. So it all started, guys, here in Houston, Texas, where I grew up at. I'm from Houston, Texas. And I was like the typical black kid. Grew up in the hood, around violence, gangs, drugs, all that, you know, was all around me in my neighborhood. And I kind of got caught up in it. I didn't do drugs. You know, I smoked a little weed here and there, but I never done no crack, cocaine, none of that stuff. But I'm finna go ahead and be fully transparent. I used to sell it. Now, so if any of my relatives are checking this out, they're gonna say, oh my God, you never tell us that. Yeah, I never told you guys I used to sell drugs, because I was caught up in that mind frame of wanting to make money. And coming from the hood, you see people my age at that time, probably, I say my teens, riding around in nice cars, Mercedes-Benz, BMW and all that. And nice clothes, money, when I go to the club, they getting all the women. I wanted to be like them. These drug dealers was my role model when I was growing up. Of course, my father and mother, I looked up to them. But, they was just, going to work, doing the regular thing. They wasn't, I didn't come from a rich family. So I was drawn to the flashiness, the big cars, the money, the nice clothes, the women. So I got stuck in that world for a while. And I knew it wasn't for me because I wasn't really successful with it. And it's because of my programming. And these programs that I had has to do around money. Since I didn't come from money, money was scarce. The money I got, I didn't save it, I blew it. So I was fresh to death, nice clothes all the time. I had a nice car that because back in the days, as of right now, we like to get cars and, dress them up, nice rims, throw a different paint job on it, which they call a wrap now. So I did all that, what I'm saying? And something inside me said, this is not fulfilling and this is not the right way. I was, selling crack to my people, my black people out there, which was not good. Not good at all. I actually was at the trap house, is what they call it now, but back in the day we called it the crack house. So I was at the crack house, looking at them smoking their life away. I actually saw somebody that was like 300 pounds, and every day we would sell them some crack. I say less than a month, they was down to about 98 pounds because they was smoking that crack every day. It was horrible. It was horrible. And it really was, I started getting real emotional about this because I'm like, I'm looking at this person just killing themselves slowly, smoking this crack. I'm making money off of it. I'm contributing to killing them. So I was like, I don't want to be a murderer. So I had to stop doing that. I had to. Plus, people that was around me, that was working for me or with me, they was getting caught by the cops. Cops was beating them. Even if they didn't have drugs on, they was being framed, beaten, taken to the jailhouse. Now, it happened to me one time. I didn't get beat or anything, but I got pulled over. I didn't have drugs on me, but I had a wad of money. So in the hood back in the days, I say I'm finna date myself. I'm finna kind of, without telling you how old I am, I'm gonna tell you. This is the 90s when crack was at its highest, So it's the 90s. I was young then, very young. I still consider myself young now, but at that time, crack was at its highest, and any black guy, young black guy rolling around in a Benz BMW or a nice car that had nice rims or whatever in a black neighborhood would get pulled over for no reason at all. If you had like a t-shirt on with a gold chain and a cap, you getting pulled over. So I got pulled over. And thank God I didn't have any drugs on me. Now, I did get pulled over one time. I had some drugs. But, I might talk about that later. But, I'm gonna get to when I woke up. It's gonna be a little ways down the line, but I just want to be transparent and tell you guys everything what I went through from my childhood all the way to now. Tell you everything I've been going through. I'm gonna tell you this program stuff. It's really embedded in us, and it can knock us off track to our real purpose here in life, which I know now what my real purpose is. But let me get back to the story. So I was pulled over, had probably like 2,000 or 3,000 cash. I know that's probably not much, but a young brother in the hood with carrying around that much cash in an area where there's drugs going on, immediately the police gonna think he's doing, he's selling. So I had all that money. They pulled me over. They talking about, can we search the car? I said no. They did it anyway. I knew they was gonna do it. It's like, why are you gonna ask? You're gonna do it anyway. So searched my car, couldn't find no drugs. And they was like, what you got in your pocket? I said, hey man, you can't be invading my personal space. Whatever I have in my pocket is mine. And they said, well, you in a drug infested area, and a lot of people are riding around here, a lot of drug dealers riding around here with drugs and with a lot of money, with drug money. So it looks like you're a drug dealer. That's what they told me. I said, what? Look. How did it look? And they said, you have the drug dealer attire on. You have a cap on. I think I probably had Bulls, when Michael Jordan was on the Chicago Bulls. So, back then, the attire for a drug dealer was a Bulls cap, nice gold chain, a white t-shirt, because they were in. I had plenty of white t-shirts. But I had expensive t-shirts. Probably had a white Gucci or some type of shirt I spent probably over $100, $200 on, because I had the money. So I had that on. Beepers was, young people out there probably, beeper? I don't even know what's a beeper. So beepers were real popular. This was even before the cell phone got real. We had a cell phone, but it wasn't like real popular. We had the flips, but if you had a beeper, you was considered a drug dealer. Sometime a doctor, but they didn't ever see me as a doctor. They said, this guy's a drug dealer. Because I had everything. And I had the Jordans, I had the Jordans 2s or 3s or whatever back then. I probably had 7 or 8, whatever in the mid 90s, whatever shoe came out, new Jordan shoe. And I had the Jordan jogging suit. So what was popular back then was for a drug dealer, Jordan jumpsuit, or I'm sorry, not jumpsuit, sweatsuit, Jordan tennis shoes, Rolex watch, had the Lex, had the Rolex watch, of course a gold chain on your wrist, gold chain. And I had the big dookie rope, you know what I'm saying, like the rappers be wearing. I don't know why I had it on that day, so I had that on, and a Bulls cap. So they was like, you look like a drug dealer. And I was like, no, I'm not a drug dealer. Look at my face. Do I look like a drug dealer? So they step out the car, then they use that, we're looking for some certain drug dealers that was around here, blah, blah, blah. You fit the subscription. You fit the description. So I get out of the car, and I said, first of all, what are you pulling me over for? I was not speeding or anything. Then they're gonna pull this out of the bag, out of the hat. You was driving too slow. This is a 30, 35 miles an hour. You was going 29 or whatever. So they was just using any type of excuse to get me out of the car so they can search me, pat me down, to try to find some drugs on me. So I got out of the car because I didn't want to get beat, because plenty of my friends got beat by the cops when you don't listen to them. They feel like they're God anyway. So I get out the car, I lean against the car like this. They pat me down. They took the beat. They said, what you got a beeper for? I said, I was lying. I said, I have a sick grandmother. Matter of fact, I just came from my house, and she beeps me. She beeps me, send me a signal or whatever they call it. To let me know if she needs help or whatever. And he's like, yeah, sure, right, man. And you sure that's not for drug sales? I said, no, sir. Then they kept searching, and they said, looked in my pocket and said, what's this? What you have this wad of cash for? I said, back to my grandmother. Yesterday was my birthday, and she just gave me some money. She's retired, so she gets a lot of extra money for her retirement. So she gave me $2,000 or whatever it was, $2,000 or $3,000 for my birthday. And they looked at me like, You expect us to believe that bull, finished the work. And I was like, sir, officer, I am not lying. You want to go to my grandmother's house right now? She tell you that I am a law-abiding citizen and this money came from her. I was trying to talk all intelligent and everything. It didn't work. And, of course, because I'm black, in the hood, in a nice car, with money, nice clothes, whatever I said, it didn't matter. They already had it in their mind that I was a drug dealer. So they said, sir, since you are riding around with all this money, you got a beeper, we need to take you downtown for questioning. I'm like, what? You want to take me downtown for questioning? I didn't do anything wrong. They said, we got to take you down, sir. So they grabbed me. And nobody wasn't around, so nobody couldn't witness this or anything. Nobody couldn't, who I was going to call. So I had to go ahead and, get arrested and be put in a car, in a squad car. Went downtown. They left my car. I think they impounded my car or something, took it downtown with them or something. I don't know. I'm trying to remember all this is, years ago. So went downtown. They asked me the same questions the officer asked me. And they let me go because they didn't have anything on me, no evidence of drugs and nothing. It was a waste of time. I'm like, we're paying taxes for these doing police people to harass people, take people downtown, wasting time where it could be a real crime going on and you wasting your time with me because I got a little money. So they let me go. I didn't get my beeper back and they took my money. So I went out there empty-handed. Thank God I was ready to get my car. So I just wanted to tell y'all that story because I thought it was a funny and not a funny story, but very messed up story. And let me know if any of you guys that's, around 30, 40, and even 50 years old, been through something like that. Leave it down in the comments. While you're leaving it down in the comments, if you are still watching this video, give me a thumbs up. It's gonna help me out, guys. Because like I said before, I want this video to go viral. I think everybody, young and older, people that have been in trouble, people that are lost, needs to watch this video. Because I'm about to really get into the meat of what I'm talking about today, of my story time. So let me just keep going. So I did that for a couple of years, doing a drug dealer thing. I had at the point where I was making enough money where I had people doing it for me. And all I do is just go pick up the money. But after another drug gang came in the area and trying to take it over, a couple of my people got either died or they just quit because the other drug dealers ran them out the hood or whatever, ran them out the spot that we was doing. One of them, house got burned down because this guy that was working for me would sold drugs for this other drug dealer, left him, came working for me, but at the same time he was a smoker. So what happened was he stole the drugs from the other guy, smoked the stuff up, never paid him anything because he was trying to make money from me to pay him back. But then come to find out he was smoking my stuff too because a couple of times he came up short. But I'm not that kind of guy that I'm gonna kill you over this stuff. I just say I'm gonna drop him, but I said I'm gonna give you one more chance. So I went over to his house to get the money. House was burnt down. And what happened was the drug dealers he was with before came at him and tried to kill him because he didn't pay him. So he shot up his house and burned it down. And I don't know if the guy died, never seen him before, ever seen him again or anything. And that was my cue to say, I need to get out of this. This is getting crazy. Plus they were trying to take over the area, my spots and everything. So I finally got, the combination of, looking at my people dying in front of my eyes, and the police always raid me. I always have to look over my back, raiding my spots, and the drug dealers coming and trying to take over there. Combination of all of that, I had to get out. That was not for me. You know what I'm saying? Look at me, I'm not a gangster looking type. I'm not that gangster type of guy. And I didn't never have to go shoot anybody or kill anybody. You know what I'm saying? So, at that time, I was lost. So it was like, forget my brothers, forget my sisters, it's all about money. It was all about the crabs in a bucket type of thing. I was, beat the other person down to try to get up, don't help them out. But anyway, so as I grew out of that, my mentality started changing when I started going to college. And I met somebody in college. I met this person that was getting into Islam. No, I take that back. Let me go back. I met this person that was kind of like into pro-black. It was kind of like a militant. So there was a pro-black type of militant person, and so they was talking about that those black people need to get together. That if I stop this and restart it, it's because my battery is about to go out. So bear with me. If my battery go out, I'll be right back. All right, so this guy was a militant guy. They kind of was following the same footsteps that I was going for, as drug dealer type of stuff, getting into all that. But they got out of that phase, and now they into pro-black, the pro-black movement. And they was doing a lot of studying on, Malcolm X, Black Panthers and all that stuff. And I don't know, for some reason, the brother he started talking to me about it. He was like, what do you know about the pro-black movement? What are you doing to try to help our people? And I was like, what? What you talking about, help our people? And he said, help your brothers and sisters, get up out of this poverty and get up out of this racism. I said, I ain't doing nothing. I'm trying to help myself get out of this poverty. That's how I was telling them. And I said, that's why I'm going to school right now, going to college, so I can get my degree, so I can get out there and start working, being legit, because I was doing things that was not legit, like selling drugs. And so they said, brother, you need to start getting into the pro-black movement. You need to learn about your history. And I was like, I did. I went to school, learned about American history. They said, that's not the real history. That's a lie. So he gave me this book. Name of his book was The Miseducation of the Negro. So he gave me that book, and I was like, what am I gonna do with this book? He said, you need to learn about your people. It's gonna tell you the truth. So I was like, maybe I'll check it out. So I took that book home, kind of put it down, and never really read it until this next time I ran into old boy again. And so he kind of like, he questioned me. He said, so what'd you learn from that book? I said, what book? Because I wasn't thinking about it. He said, The Miseducation of the Negro. I said, oh. I said, you the guy that I met, blah, 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 because I forgot who he was, his name, whatever. And he said, yeah, I met you probably a couple of weeks. It was like a couple of weeks before. And we was at school. And matter of fact, I went to TSU, Texas Southern University, here in Houston, Texas. So he's like, did you read that book? I said, no, I haven't had time, been doing school, blah, blah, blah. I had a part-time job, on the side, whatever. He said, brother, you need to read that book. It's going to change your life. And you're going to understand why we're living the way we're living. And the Negro is very, very powerful. And you're going to learn the truth about us. So me being a curious guy, I said, this guy here is really serious about what he's talking about. So let me check out that book. So I finally went home, checked out the book, read it, started learning a lot about lies or things that has been covered up about us as black people. So that kind of started my process for us learning about black history. And I kind of became a militant person because it was new information that I've never even heard before. And I was like, why is nobody not talking about this? Why are people not pushing more on this? You know, people that was around me, my people, because when I started looking up things, you know, at that time really wasn't no internet. I think the internet just started. So not that many people was on the internet, but I started getting on the internet, and it was a few information about Black Power and all that here. So that's when I started learning about Malcolm X, started learning about Nation of Islam and all that stuff. So that was the next thing that I got into, Nation of Islam. And how I did that, I one day walking from school, not really walking from school, I'm sorry. I was driving from school and I was hungry. And I passed by this place, it's called Fishnet Fishery. It was in my neighborhood. And I was like, I was just getting into fish. I really wasn't a fish eater at that time, but I just started eating fish. And so I said, let me go check out this place and see if I can get some fish. So I went in there not knowing that this place was owned by a Muslim. So I went in there and I saw pictures on the wall. Malcolm X, Elijah Muhammad, Louis Farrakhan. And I was like, I seen Farrakhan before. I seen that picture before. I was like, because since I've been studying history, I started learning about Malcolm X and everything. So these pictures, I was like, I seen this person before. I know this person. Well, not know this person, but read about this person. So I went in there, I was like, hey, y'all, I want to get some fish, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, hey, these some nice photos in here. I was like, are you guys Muslim? So that's what I said. And they said, we're Muslims. We're part of Nation of Islam. I was like, oh, you part of the Nation of Islam? You talking about Farrakhan and all that? And they said, yes. Are you part of the nation? I said, no, I'm just starting to learn about all of this. So I would like to learn more. It's very interesting. And they's like, yeah, we have books and everything. So they had like a little stand where they had books. So they had The Miseducation of the Negro. And I told them I started reading that. I know a lot about the miseducation of us, the Negroes. And hey guys, I don't want y'all to think this is all about like a pro-black, story time. I'm just telling you guys my journey. You know, I'm gonna get into other parts of my journey as far as dealing with the Matrix and learning about all that. So bear with me, guys. Bear with me, because I know I'm probably gonna have a lot of different races checking out this video. So I don't want y'all to think I'm gonna exclude white people and start talking bad. No, this is not hate. It's not a hate video. It's all just informative and kind of like a autobiography of my life or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You know, real quick, a glimpse in my past. So I saw the books. I saw this book that I actually followed as of today, which is called, what's the name of that book? How to Eat to Live. And it's by Elijah Muhammad. And it just talks about how you can eat one meal a day. And it talks about all the foods you should not eat and the foods you should eat. And one food in particular I stopped probably that week was pork. I started reading a lot about pork and found out it's the worst food or the worst meat in the world to eat. So I disciplined myself and stopped eating pork. It was hard. It was hard. You know, I was on it, off it for about 5-6 months. And I finally just able to stop eating it. And then next thing I learned about beef. So I stopped eating beef. And I was still eating chicken and turkey and everything. That came further down the road in my process of changing my diet. So anyway, I started reading, I picked up some of the books and everything. And I started going to that place all the time to get something to eat. So one day I went there and it was like, hey brother, do you want to go to the mosque? And I was like, that's on Sunday, right? They said, yes, on Sunday. Yes, on Sunday, brother. So I said, what time? They said about 10 o'clock. At this, I was hesitating because I don't know if I was ready, because I kind of stopped going to church. It was a church I was part of. It was a Christian church I was part of. And I kind of stopped going there because I've been reading about Black history and everything. And you know how all churches have have white Jesus on the wall. So it was like, I learned that really Jesus was black, So I kind of started not trusting religion. So that's why I was hesitant. I was hesitant of going to the mosque because I was kind of venture away from this religion stuff. But I realized that I do believe in a higher power, and I kind of realized that I stopped praying because I was kind of mad. At the time, I was kind of mad at God that why God would let us Black people go through what we're going through on a daily basis. So I was kind of mad at God or whatever. But I wanted to get back being spiritual and understand, God. So I said, okay, brother, I'll come. So I went to the mosque and it was very eye-opening. And I liked the discipline that they had, and the women that was there, they was dressed all the way down, long dresses, wraps on their head so they didn't flaunt their body and everything like they do all their other churches. When you go to a Black church, it's like a fashion show, or like you're at a club, women trying to dress up, showing legs, cleavage and everything. No, not at the mosque. Nation of Islam don't allow all that for their women. They want their women to come covered up, because they know men lust after women. They want us to focus on the minister as he speak. So at the mosque, I don't know if you guys ever been to the mosque, a Nation of Islam mosque. I don't even know if they have it at, the Muslims that are from the East. I don't know if they have their mosque set up like this, but when you go into the mosque, you have one side is the men. And this is set up specifically not to keep separate, but to keep you focused on the minister. And check this out, they had the men on the left side. What is the left side of your brain? That's the logic. That's the masculine side. And then they had the women on the right side, which is the feminine side of your brain. The left hemisphere, which represent feminine, So they had that was like a psychological thing that they did that on purpose. So men on one side, women on the other side. Men, just like, when you go to a church, you dress in a suit or whatever. So you got to come nice, presentable. If you don't come nice, presentable, not saying they shun you away, but they're like, here, brother, put on this nice jacket or whatever. They want you to come in there looking presentable. And I like dressing, so I already came in there, already dressed down, GQ down or whatever. So went in there and the minister started speaking on, I don't know exactly what the the subject was that day, because that was my first day going in there. It's been a long time, but they were speaking on how the government and all that was keeping us separated, keeping us conditioned to how things work. And that really, struck me in my mind, like, wow, yeah, I've been reading about this stuff, because books I was reading was about, government control and all that stuff. So I was into that. And so that resonated with me and made me start going to the mosque even more. Even though they talked about a lot of religion stuff, a lot about how the white man, this and all that. So I took all that in and everything. But what really resonated with me was how the government was controlling us. So I got deep and deep into that. Started getting more books on that. Now here comes the book that changed everything. Where I was like, I'm on board. I'm ready to wake up. Behold a Pale Horse. Now let me go get that book right quick. So this is the book that changed my life. I don't know if y'all can see it. Let me see it. That's upside down. Behold a Pale Horse. So this book kind of introduced me into the New World Order, introduced me into the Illuminati, introduced me into the elites, their agenda. And so for everything that's been in this book, it has happened at the exact time it said it was going to happen, which blows my mind. I thought it was like, okay, I'm gonna read this book, and not saying this was a fantasy book or it's just something that might happen, but I was like, I wonder if this book is really gonna give me the information that's gonna help me. So if that time does come when these things happen, I'll be prepared. And it has. So this book, guys, changed me. And that's when I really start understanding what the Matrix is. So at that time, I was going to the mosque. Things were really, starting to change in my life, because I started to discipline myself more. I started eating better. And matter of fact, this really what made me start changing my diet. I have this condition. It's not, I don't have the full-blown disease, but it's called inner ear. It's called Meniere's inner ear disease. So my left ear, they said it's defected or something like that. So they said if I eat, well, at the time, they didn't know if it was foods that was causing this problem. But at certain times, I would have dizzy spells. The room would spin around and I would fall down. I can't get up here because I'm trying to stop the room from moving. So I went to the doctor, medical doctor, regular doctor. They're not going to tell you anything that has to do with your diet. So they said, you have this condition, you have symptoms of this condition. Take this medication anytime you have an episode. So I was like, okay, I'll do it, doctor. I'll do it. Got to follow the doctor. They know everything. So went home. At this time, I'm deep into understanding the Matrix, as far as not understanding the Matrix, but I'm reading Behold the Pale Horse. I'm reading How to Eat to Live. I'm learning about foods and everything, but I haven't translated that into my daily habits. So I was still going to like fast foods, but I wasn't eating pork or beef. I would get like fish or something like that. but still not knowing that these places, these restaurants were still loading foods that they make with chemicals and all kind of stuff. So every time I would eat, 5, 10, 15 minutes later, I would do this. So I'll fall over. So I would get dizzy. And so I was like, I'm reaching, like I'm ground while the room is spinning. I'm reaching for the medication that the doctor gave me. I'm trying to take it. The room stopped spinning for maybe after a minute or two. So I'm able to get up and take the medication. I take the medication, does nothing for me. All it does is upset my stomach. So I'm like, okay, maybe if I keep taking the medication, it'll stop, So not knowing that it's the food that I'm eating making me dizzy. And I'll tell you exactly what's making me dizzy that's in the food. But, every time I would eat, it would happen. I'm like, I'm taking the medication, why this not happening? So I went to the doctor and said, hey, why this not happening? I'm taking the medication, I'm still getting these dizzy spells. They said, well, maybe it's not strong enough. We'll give you some stronger stuff. So I'm like, hold up, wait a minute. Because I was like, I don't want to take no more chemicals, no more drugs, no more of that stuff. I'm like, wait a minute, let me try this again. I'll get back with you. Because I didn't want to take no stronger stuff. So I'm at the grocery store. This is when I start going to Whole Foods. I said, I want to get really serious about changing my diet. Not knowing that the reason why that I'm having these dizzy spells is because of the food I eat. And I'll tell you in just a second, what is it in these foods that's making me dizzy? So I go and talk to somebody that's in the area where they have all the the vitamins and all that stuff. And I asked them, I said, do you have something for dizzy spells or for vertigo? And they said, not really. So they started asking me certain questions and how I eat and everything. So that person said, hey, we have a nutritionist that comes in here, and we kind of got them on our list, in case people like you come in that looking for a nutritionist. So let me give you a number to this nutritionist. So I call a nutritionist, go visit nutritionist, and I tell them what I've been going through. And they say, seems like foods that you eat is making you dizzy. I was like, what? And they asked me what type of foods I eat. I said, well, I'm eating, I was still eating fries this time, but I said, I'm eating fish, fries. I go to a restaurant or whatever to get this, but I said at home, I try to eat the fruits, vegetables. I'm still eating chips at this time and all kind of stuff, but like organic chips. So they said, does any of these foods have a lot of sodium in it? I said, I don't know, I don't be looking at it. And they said, well, that's what's going on. You're eating a lot of this stuff, especially stuff from the fast foods, they got a lot of sodium in it. And what it is when you eat these foods, the sodium is builds up fluid in your ear. And since this ear is affected, it's building up fluid and it's not flowing correctly. So it builds up and it just stays there. And that's why you're leaning like this. Makes your equilibrium be off, because it's building, that sodium is turning into fluid and it's building up fluid in your ear, causing your affected ear to have causing you to have vertigo because your ear is infected. So I'm like, oh, really? So they gave me a list of foods to stop eating. And they say go strictly organic, stop eating baked goods, stop eating dairy products. So I was like, I don't know if I can do that. I've been eating this stuff for my whole life. They said, well, if you don't want no more vertigo, you need to change. Because at this time, everything was moving like this all the time. It's like I was on a boat, you know what I'm saying? Everything is moving like this. So I said, I gotta do it. So I did that. Lo and behold, I said after 5 or 6 months, dizzy spells went away. Because I left I started watching what I eat for sodium. I started eating stuff that was 10 milligrams of sodium or lower. And I got better. But anyway, let me move on. Because we're going 44 minutes here. So, and I don't want to stop at an hour. So let's get into the matrix. So, I've been reading this book, start learning a lot of things, start questioning people on a lot of things. At this time, my people I was around, they didn't know anything about this. I was like, hey, don't you know the media is programming you and programming me? And I was like, don't you know that the Illuminati is blah, 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 and this and that and this? You know, and they was like, what? You're crazy. So I was kind of like, amongst my friends, I was kind of like the crazy conspiracious. I was like little Malcolm Farrakhan, tin hat man. You know what I'm saying? So I was kind of, the crazy one. And I was like, okay, y'all, watch. In this book, it says this gonna happen and that's gonna happen. Lo and behold, as time went by, things started happening. And I started telling my friends, see, this was in this book. He predicted that this is gonna happen. And the reason why he predicted this was gonna happen in this book, because the elites lay out things 10, 20, 30 years in advance, and it comes about. So, and then this book was like over 20 some years old. So things they already had in the book already came about before. And other things they've said in there was going to come later, and it has. Like what's going on now in the world. And it's in that book. C word, V word. So anyway, I started getting into it more, and all of a sudden, I was looking at videos. One thing was leading to another. And my battery is about to run out, guys. I might try to get through this video before it completely runs out. But so one thing led to another, and I started understanding the law of attraction. But before I started learning about law of attraction, check this out. So I used to work I do work at this job right now. I was working at this job, and my car broke down, but I had to take the bus to work every day. So I would take the bus, go downtown, get off to get on another bus. And at this time, a lot of crazy people downtown, a lot of people that are kind of like out of their mind, spaced out, a lot of bad people, people that just roam around on the street, people that are homeless, whatever. So I get off the bus, and all of a sudden this guy started following me. He just kept on following me. And I'm like, why this guy following me? So I went in the store. Guy was following me. So he's following me everywhere. So he finally came up to me, and he just looking at me. I was like, what you looking at, brother? It was a black guy. What you looking at? Why you following me? He's like, oh, I thought you were somebody else. My bad. And I was like, what? And because I was looking at him like, hey, you want to fight? You want to fight? And so he, I guess, got scared, or because I bucked up to him, he left. And I was like, man, this is crazy. What if this guy had a gun or something, or a knife, or tried to kill me or anything? So this prompted me to, since I've been reading a little about law of attraction at the time, I was like, I went in on the internet and I typed in people, how do you stop having people, do you attract people in your life or something like that? I forgot. I was trying to remember what I typed in, but something about people attracting people in your life, or attracting bad energy or something else. I said. And that's when I stumbled upon, you create your own reality. You attract certain people in your life depending on what you put out into this world. So that's when I started learning about law of attraction, that whatever I am thinking about at the time, my dominant thought, I'm putting that out, those energies and those frequencies out, and I'm attracting people that have those certain energies in my life. So whatever thought that has, I don't know if it was a thought about somebody following me, or somebody scaring me, or something. It has something to do with fear. So, because I was fearful, but at the same time, I was like, I'm ready to knock this guy out, because I ain't no punk, So I started studying that, and I started learning about law of attraction and energies and frequencies and everything. So I started getting deep into that, and I started understanding that we as a collective are all one, and that this Illuminati and one world order and all this stuff, we kind of agreed with that through the programming from age, from birth all the way to now, from the television, from just how everything's set up, the school system is set up, from how the family structure is set up, and all the distractions and all the unhealthiness and all the dysfunction that's going on outside of the family structure that affects us every day. So I started learning all of that, and I started to look up ways to get out of this thinking, or get unprogram or reprogram myself. So that's when I started getting into subconscious mind and all that. Then I started getting into how to protect myself from certain energies. So I started getting into energy work. So I started getting into all that. So I started kind of opening up to new things and trying to understand why life the way it is. Why is it like this? And how to get out of this thinking, how to get unprogrammed. And that book, Behold the Pale Horse, helped me. A lot of books on law of attraction, energy, frequencies, subconscious mind, all that started waking me up, guys. So I started waking up, and I say maybe a year or two ago, I really started getting into stop looking at TV. You know what I'm saying? So I stopped doing that. I'm still working on it, but stop looking at listen to certain songs, and I started listening to more music that caters to my being, or cater to my spiritual being. And what that is you can listen to some music or some frequencies, which is at 432 hertz. Now, the music that we listen to on the radio is at a different frequency, and it's at a low vibration frequency that keep us in a low vibration. And that's why you have songs that's about sex, violence, and everything, because that frequency is at a low animal state type of frequency. So the words or lyrics match the frequency of the music. But the stuff I try to listen to every morning before I go to bed, it's a high frequency, and that's 432 hertz. That's 1 hertz. You have all different type of hertz that'll give you a love frequency, that'll give you a frequency that'll motivate you. So it's different type of frequencies that'll do different things to your soul or your spirit, because you're gonna resonate with that, because ultimately we are spiritual beings having a physical experience. So we need those type of frequencies so we can stay at our higher self. So I started doing that, and I'm really starting to wake up, because things I see on a daily basis, I can just pinpoint what's going on, and I can read through the subliminalness that's right there in front of you. All this stuff that we see that's going on is really right there in front of you. But since we've been programmed, it's like a mask in front of our eyes, or in front of our third eye, so we can't catch it. You know what I'm saying? It's like something is blocking our eyes from really seeing what's going on. So that's why I work on my third eye. When you open your third eye, that's when you can see through all the mist, see through all the, as they say, see through the forest from the woods, or whatever that saying is. But you know what I'm saying. You're able to see through all the subliminals that's going on, and you'll be able to look right there. It's right there in front of your eyes. You just got to open it. And when you open your third eye, that's when you'll be able to see and understand what's going on. So I'm at this point in my life, guys, where I want to share all this information with you guys. And that's why I started this YouTube channel, also my TikTok page. And I said, I want to wake up people. So I started looking up Jordan Maxwell, David Icke, Bruce Lipton, all these people, Abraham Hicks, all these people that talk about things that has to do with waking you up, letting you know you're a powerful human being, and that you need to get out the matrix, wake up, you're in a dream, you sleep. Like the movie say, you got the red pill and the blue pill, which one you're gonna take? We need to take the right pill and wake up and understand that we're powerful beings and that we've been slaves, and it's time to break free. And because you're a God in the flesh. That's how I see it. So guys, I know I said I was gonna talk about how you can get out of the matrix. So I only got a few minutes left. Like I said, I wanted to just do an hour of kind of like a story time. So I'm gonna talk about a little bit, for a minute or two, about how to get out the matrix. So how you get out the matrix is read that book, get that book, it's online, Behold a Pale Horse. You can get it as a PDF. Start reading that, so understand how we're all programmed in all phases and aspects of our life. And then once you get all the knowledge you can about how the matrix is set up, who runs the matrix and all that, then you can try to become a free person. And the way you become a free person is you go to this website. This website that I recently found is called Redemption Service. I'll put the link on the screen. And when you go there, it gives you a whole breakdown of the Illuminati, how the matrix was set up, the first year that it was established, you know, and kind of just give you a whole story of how all this stuff started. Then it gives you a way you can process some paper information and be able to become a free person, where you won't have to have a driver's license. You won't have to go to court anymore. You won't have to pay taxes and all that. And then you can find out how you can get your money, because you're being sold on the stock market. And you can find out how you can get your money. You're probably worth billions of dollars right now. So you can find out how you can get a control of your straw man and cash out. So all that is on redemptionservice.com. I'll put a link in the description, and you can go there and get free. So guys, that's it. Hope you stuck with me all the way to the very end, and hope you guys learned something, and now you know understand who I am, where I came from, and what I'm all about. Now you know my whole life story. That's not my whole life story, but it's kind of like the gist of what I'm all about. So before you go, if you're new, first time clicking on here and saying, who is this guy? Who is Woke Reg? If you want to find out more of what I provide, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, drop a comment down below, hit that like button so more people can check out this knowledge that I'm dropping, and share this everywhere, because I want to wake up everybody I can, guys. And last thing, get some merch. This is my merch right here, which is a t-shirt with Get Woke, Stay Woke. I got a t-shirt that says Woke Reg too, but I want you guys to get this, because this is a way you can help wake up people and support the cause, support the movement, the woke nation movement. Let's wake up everybody, because the more of us wake up, the more chances we can change this world and all of us can be free. So go cop this merch. The link will be in the description. It's on sale. It's real cheap. It's on sale, guys. And let's do it. Matter of fact, what I'm gonna do, if you cop a shirt, I will shout out your names in my next video. So whoever cop the shirt, all you gotta do is hit me up on Instagram at Woke Reg. Hit me up on Instagram, show a picture of this shirt. You have it on, have the shirt on, take a picture of it, a screenshot or whatever, send it, DM me on Woke Reg on Instagram, and then I will shout out your name in my next video. Matter of fact, I'll shout out your name on my TikTok too. So help a brother out, because it's going to help me keep making videos, keep waking up people, guys. It's just a small amount of money to help a brother out and to represent the woke nation and help wake people up all around the world. All right, guys, that's it. And before I go, get woke and stay woke. Peace.